One of the additional questions that I asked had to do with this model of sales of new cars. We're letting SN represent sales of new cars, and we're letting INC represent income. It's best to probably think about this in terms of billions of dollars. This is a completely made-up model. These numbers are not reflective of some empirical estimates of reality. So I ask you to graph it out with income on the horizontal axis, right? So there's an option under the Edit button for the graph for settings to do a couple of things, like add a title, to add a title to the x-axis, as well as set some scaling on both the x and the y axis, or the horizontal and the vertical axis. We're measuring income on the horizontal axis, and we're measuring vertically we're measuring sales of new cars, SN. And you can see that we've got a vertical intercept at 30. That is, if we took the value of income and set it equal to 0, the value of SN would be equal to 30. And we also see that it's an upward sloping straight line. You can see that it's upward sloping because of this positive coefficient on the slope. That means that there is a direct relationship between income and sales of new cars. When income goes up, sales of new cars go up. Economists refer to that type of good as a normal good. Income goes up, demand for that product goes up. Those are the normal goods. So we've got this direct relationship between income and sales of new cars, but there's also some additional assumptions that are built into this model. One of those assumptions has to do with the fact that this is a straight line. It's a constant slope. What that's basically saying is that if we went from 20 to 21, the increase in sales of new cars going from 20 to 21 would be 0.5, right? Also, if we went from 80 to 81, the additional, or the change in the sales of new cars, would also be equal to 0.5. We assume a constant slope, and so a constant slope assumption is saying that an increase in income has a constant impact on the sales of new car. Another way to think about this in a real-world context is think about low-income people versus high-income people. If I gave $1,000 to a low-income person versus a high-income person, what this model assumes is that both individuals are going to spend that additional money in the same way. That's an unrealistic assumption, but it's a useful, simplifying assumption.